Boom, baby. Let's get screwing. Can I say that? All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is James and this is Killing It Country. This is gonna be my first video back after taking a bit of an extended break to support my father as he learned how to walk after back surgery. Just finished up a huge amount of renovations at my sister's house. All these tools have returned to the garage. I don't know how I even fit this crap in here before, because now that it's back, I don't even know where it goes. And my phone, I think it's been listening to me complain about not having enough storage on this property because my Instagram reel starting to show me all kinds of solutions. I found one that works, so if that's what you're here for, we're gonna build it together. Stick around, let's do it. All right, guys, so you can see all the junk, like seriously, Rubbermaid totes, I don't even know what's in half of that stuff. Tires are supposed to go back up onto the racks, and I'll get to that eventually. That's my 2006 Mustang GT convertible in the background there with all the crap piled all over it. So I'm gonna build a rack. It's gonna be on wheels, and I'm hoping that it's gonna slide right in there where that table is. It'll fit right underneath that tire rack. I'll be able to get all of this stuff into it and then have some room to work. So I picked up the lumber. I'm not gonna go through that all right now, but suffice to say I have a design on paper, and let's get going. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is measure the width of one of these Costco bins, and then we can do a layout on these 2x4s. So they're a little more than 19.5 inches wide. I don't want them to be super tight as I slide them in and out. So let's see how much of an underhang we have here. There's like a little more than an inch underneath. So these are gonna slide in and they're gonna hang from the underside of here. I know, guys, I'm reading the comments on all these Instagram reels and all the other videos, and people are saying like, oh, this is totally gonna bend. They're not supposed to support the weight from the side. They're meant to sit on the bottom. I'm not storing bricks. Neither are the other people probably. So it's gonna be fine for what I need. I need a solution that's large. I need it to hold a large volume of items, but it's not necessarily going to be holding stuff that's heavy. And on the very top of this rolling cabinet, I may put a piece of plywood up there so that if I do happen to have one of these bins full of heavy stuff, I'll use my own discretion and I'll move the bin to the very top so that it is resting on the bottom. But anyways, we have a little more than an inch under here on both sides. So I think what I'm gonna do for spacing here is just make this 19.75 of an inch. So let's get my square. So yeah, I've got a 10-foot 2x4 here. This is gonna serve as kind of like my base plate. And then I'll have 2x4s coming straight up where the bins will slide in between the 2x4s. It's not gonna make sense right now. It'll make more sense as we get moving along. So I need to use my measuring tape, my square, do my spacing layout across the bottom plate and the top plate of this storage solution. And then we'll use the square, make the line straight. We need to build one for the front of the rack, one for the back of the rack, and then I've got 2x3s that will go in between them to serve as the actual shelves that the bins will rest on. Okay, so you can see what I did there. I marked out for where the 2x4s are gonna be standing up off of those, off the base plate and the top plate all the way across. So I've got 4 of them now marked like that. So let's start thinking about our measurements for height. How much space am I gonna want between the bottom of this bin and the top of the bottom bin? So imagine if they were in there like that, except that piece of plywood would be gone. Bum, 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 bum. I think I want to put an inch between them. Oh, look at that. I happen to have 2 pieces of 1/2 inch plywood. Nailed it. Okay, so these totes are gonna hang on a piece of 2x3 that's gonna pick up the side here. So for that dimension, it's about 14 1/4. I'm gonna use 15 inches for the first dimension. That'll give a bit of space at the bottom of the box. And then that dimension there, I don't know if you can see that, but it's showing as 17 1/4 inches from the bottom of here to the bottom of here. That's with the 1 inch space in between. It's, what did I say? 17, it's a little bit less than 17 1/4. I'm gonna use 17. That'll give me a little bit more than 3/4 of an inch in between these boxes, which honestly, I think that's gonna be totally adequate. So using those dimensions, we can very easily do a similar kind of a storyboard to my uprights as we did for the base plate and the top plate. So let's kind of clear this stuff out of the way. We'll lay down an 8-foot 2x4 and get going on that. So at the bottom, we'll have our bottom plate, 15 inches, so that we can pick up the bottom of the first bin, 17-inch blocks all the way up. I've left 2.5 inches to go from the bottom of here to the top of the lid, and then the top plate will be mounted onto the top of there. I think that's gonna work good. So we'll do the same thing. We'll line up a bunch of 2x4s. We'll make this one our template, and we're gonna mark on these just a single line. That's gonna tell us where the 2x3 runners will attach that these will actually hang on. We're not gonna need that right away, but after this thing is assembled and stood up, it'll be really nice to see those lines, and it'll make it super quick for us to put those shelves on. Not a single piece of Kubota equipment to be had in this video. I'm so sorry. I've got a video left over from the summer of me ripping out a stump. We'll put that video up next for you guys. Just yesterday I built a new platform for our king size bed. Was looking to do something about storage underneath the bed, and put a couple of pictures up of what I came up with. It worked really well. Built some quick frames and some dividers, and a 2.5-inch plywood platform on top, and I was able to get the mattress up off the ground and get 6 of these totes underneath, which is great for, you know, off-season clothing and that sort of thing. You know, beds with conventional frames do nothing but just collect garbage underneath. So significant improvement there. And I thought, well, you know, I'm on the storage bandwagon. Let's try to fix this junkyard as well. All right, one more of those, and then we can start cutting. All right, where's my earmuffs? Safety third. Guess I don't need my earmuffs anymore. Looks to be a little bit like studding a wall. So hopefully that's starting to make a little bit of sense in your mind. It's making a little bit more sense in my mind, but not much more. Now, to PL premium or not to PL premium? I guess it's hard to add it after. I fully expect to run out of screws before I'm done this job. Ryobi, don't judge me. All right, so right away there's a sticker on the end of this. PL Premium is not going to do a very good job with a sticker in between. A little bit of PL on the end of there. I bet there's a price tag on every one of these boards. So you'll notice that the bottom plate has a little bit sticking out here. Not enough to add another upright and get another row of bins in there, but both of these, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna secure our top plate across there, and then I'm gonna build another one of these, exactly the same. it's going to be sticking out here as well, but at the top it's going to be cut off because this is the bottom. And when this is standing up, if that makes any sense, I'm going to have this piece sticking out here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my tables in place and lean them up on this frame as well when I'm not using the tables. Because what we find happens here, Dad, look at this guy standing up, rock and roll. We have our nice tables over here, and when we say, what should we do with these tables, Dad? We set them up, and then they get covered in crap, and then when we want to do a project, we don't have a table to use. So I'd really like to have a solution for storing these tables so that they can not have anything on them, and then when we want to do a project, the tables are immediately available to us. So I'll get the camera set up, we'll secure that top plate, for lack of a better term, and then we'll absolutely duplicate this process. I'm not going to show you guys the building of the second one of these, but if you want to see it again, what you can do is you can rewind this video and watch it a second time if that makes you feel good. All right, so let's get going. So we've got our top plate here. There's that small piece that's sticking out, but I don't need that at the top, so I'm going to cut this off right now. Boom, baby. Let's get screwing. Can I say that? Oh my goodness, I just had a terrible, terrible battery malfunction. And well, I just couldn't help myself, so I carried on a little bit. So as you can see, I have the second frame, or the front and the back built, whatever you want to call them. So you can see there, see it's longer on the bottom. That's by design compared to the top. So what I did here is I cut a couple of 2x6, 35 inches long, each one of them. The bins are 29 inches wide, or lengthwise. So from here to here is 29 inches, and that's going to be the length of the bin. I wanted the 2x6s to be a little bit wider because I've got some pretty heavy duty casters that I've ordered from Amazon that are going to go on this thing. And the way they work with the 4-bolt pattern is I'm going to have 2 of them are going to be lag bolted from the bottom side up into that pressure treated 4x4, and then the other bolts are going to stick up here. And I wanted the caster to be a little bit wider and stick out a little bit just for some increased stability, because 2 of the casters are going to be of the pivoting design. So in my mind, it's good to have it be a little bit wider. The 4x4 is in pressure treated only because I was not able to find non-pressure treated 4x4s. So it was a little bit more expensive, but it is what it is. So what I did was I checked each of the 4x4s to find out if there was any kind of a bow, and there was. So right now that bow is up, so that when I get this thing loaded up, it can settle down a little bit. If it's going to sag, maybe it'll sag into the straight position a little bit. Those 2x6s are screwed from the underside with PL Premium. I put PL Premium adhesive on the pressure treated 4x4, and then I placed the wall section on top, and I've anchored it in place. So now I'm going to be cutting all of my shelf pieces that are going to go along here. So we'll get set up and we'll get going. So I need to cut a whole bunch of little shelf pieces now. So let's count. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 40. So I need 40 pieces of 2x3, 29 inches long. I better not screw that up because I don't have enough lumber to do it twice. All right, 1, 2, 3. Because I can't help myself, I want to install a set of these so that I can see if it's perfect. And honestly, what I might do is use some of my scrap wood. I know I put construction lines on here all the way up. We did that in an earlier step. But I might just cut some construction pieces. I'll cut one here 15 inches high. I'll cut another one, whatever the other dimension is, and then we can just stack them as we go, and then it'll be way more repeatable and way more accurate, which will result in our shelves being as close to perfect as I can possibly get them. So I've temporarily secured my 2x3 here. My line is at the top of the 2x3 on the upright, and I'm measuring 12.5 inches from the underside to the top of the bottom plate. So I'm gonna cut a construction block, maybe two. I'll cut two at 12.5 inches. That's gonna make life so much easier. So I can put a construction block here, a little spacer there, whatever you want to call them. And then I can drop that on. Oh, what am I going to do about PL? I'm just going to put these in temporarily. Now these are the 12.5 inch ones, so they're only good for the first block. Now let's grab another one of these, and we'll secure it in the second position temporarily, and we'll measure our distance here and cut another set of cheater blocks, and then we'll be off to the races. A little bit of a pain in the butt to set that up at the start, but once you get going, you're motoring, you're off to the races. Well, there it is so far. What do we think? I've only got 6 bins, so I need to buy 14 more the next time I'm at Costco, if I can shoehorn that many inside my vehicle. I'm waiting for the casters to show up from Amazon, so that'll be a different video. And maybe next time we will add some meat and potatoes to this thing in order to prevent some of the racking from happening, which is of course the tendency for the shelf to move back and forth like that in both planes, I suppose. We'll see what we can do to take care of that. If you like that, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and we'll see what we can get up to next time. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you again.